What's up guys, hope you're doing well. Today we have a different kind of video. Normally we look into each altcoin separately, but today we have one big update because there are several coins that I want to cover with this current drop. Today we will talk about Uniswap, Chainlink, Hyperliquid, Sui, Dogecoin and ton. I will also link timestamps so you can feel free to go to the coin that is interesting for you. But before you do this, first of all, we need to have a quick look into Bitcoin, because you know that we have taken a look into Bitcoin always on the side to see how the general market is doing. And if Bitcoin is doing good, altcoins likely will also do good. If Bitcoin is doing bad, then altcoins will also do bad. And the level that we have talked about the most on this channel is this one right here that we have just touched today, and that is the 112k level. You may remember that I said if Bitcoin is above this level, this is bullish. If Bitcoin is below this level, this is bearish, and then also Bitcoin is weak. Therefore also the altcoins are weak. And also if we are staying above this level, then Bitcoin is strong and altcoins also are strong, and therefore we have a higher likelihood that our price targets are being hit, that we see bounces at support levels. And today we have touched this 112k level. We got rejected from the next resistance level right here at 115.8k, and as long as we are staying above the 112k level, this is good and this is still bullish. But in case we are dropping below this, then we need to readjust, because then potentially we are seeing some further downside in altcoins and also in Bitcoin. Currently that is not the case. That is why currently we are taking a look at what we are having. And also I have several position changes. So let's get right into this. First of all, we start with Uniswap. In Uniswap, what we can see is that we have a chart pattern that you are probably familiar with. This one right about here. And this is basically head and shoulders. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And you can see right here with today's move, we have broken the neckline. That means technically, the daily candle close is not in yet. We still have about 5 hours left to go, but I assume that we will close below this. So technically the head and shoulder pattern is confirmed, and this would bring us down to, let's check this out. This would bring us down to about $5.11. So this is another 37% drop. So this would be another massive drop right here, and I only see this happening, or the chance that this is happening, if Bitcoin is falling below the 112k level. Otherwise, I am currently looking for this level right here. You can see there is a green line in my chart. The green line is a pending order, so this was just placed today. It's not picked up yet. So when we have visited this price right here, this order was not active, but right now I have activated it. So that means if the price is coming back to 767, that is the point where my pending order is placed, and then it will be filled. You can also see this is basically this support level that we have right here. We also have another one below this. This is the trend line, but as I said, I just see that we are going lower. So significantly lower. It always can happen that we see a slightly lower move to take some liquidity. What I meant is that we are moving to this level, or even to the target of the head and shoulder pattern. I only see that as possibility in case Bitcoin is breaking below the 112k level. That is why I said we need to keep an eye on this level. But as always guys, in case in any of these coins will be an update, I will upload a new video. So make sure to subscribe to this video so you won't miss this. That is currently what is happening in Uniswap. Next one is Chainlink. We have talked about this 2 days ago, I think. So basically when we have broken this upward trend right here, and I said at this point that we have no change, also no change in my positions. But if Bitcoin will drop to 112k, we will probably fall to this low. or into this range right here. You can see we have dropped in the range, and we also dipped below this, but also you can see this right here, that we just held this support level right here. Right now we have come back into the zone, and that is also why I have opened an order right here. You know that I already have opened 2 orders. The first one was here on this breakout day, the second one when we revisit the trend line, and the third one is pretty exactly where we are right now. And here it is also the same. So what I'm looking for is, let's make this a little bit bigger. So these are basically the levels that I'm currently looking for. So because we are in this support zone right here, this is for me a buying signal, and I said in case we are dropping there, I will open a buy position. I did this, and also here so far we have no changes. So far we have broken no big support level. We held this one right here. Yeah, we dropped a little bit further than, or we dipped a little bit further than expected, but so far everything is still looking okay. That is why I have already added to my position right here. And in case we are going back into this support level right here, so a little bit lower than where we were already today, then everything is still okay. But if we get a daily candle close below this level, then it's time to start to worry, and then it's also time to adjust the positions. So far we are not there, and here it's the same as within Uniswap. I only think that this is happening if in Bitcoin we also do the daily candle close below the 112k level. And that's already it for Chainlink. The next one is Hyperliquid. We just talked about this yesterday, and in Hyperliquid we basically hit my first target. So in yesterday's update I said that I want to see that we are dropping to this trend line. We did this, therefore here I also have opened a small position. I need to add this, and also as I said it in yesterday's video, I have added a small position, and I can also expect some further downside back into the main support zone right here. This is between $42 and $44. I have showed you this yesterday, that we have, you can see this right here, strong bearish divergence. So we have a higher price, lower RSI. So this is a 50% increase in price and a 20% decrease in the RSI. So this is very strong bearish divergence. That is why I have said in yesterday's update that here I'm expecting that we are seeing a bigger drop, and that my main position will be opened if we are falling here into this support level. This is still the same. The small update that we just have is that here in this in Hyperliquid at this point I have opened my first position, and right now I'm waiting for the next target to be hit, and here I will open my bigger position. So here in Hyperliquid, this is basically an order update. Everything is still as in the update from yesterday, just that I have opened the order right now. The next one is Sui, and in Sui I have opened an order when we touched the trend line right here. You can see that we have this descending triangle. As I have already mentioned, this is normally bullish continuation pattern, and we had some good some good chances that at this point right here that we are doing the breakout. We failed once, then we got back out, but as right now we can see we failed a second time, and this one right here was my support zone where I aimed for to buy in, but you can see we dipped below the support zone. But here I also added a position. I also added it below the support level because I have not placed a pending order right here, but instead I just opened it manually, and when I opened it manually, it already was below this. So therefore, I think this is a very good entry. Here also, the next support levels is first of all, this zone right here. And then we also have the trend line, the bullish trend line. Then also we have the trend line from the descending triangle right here. So there is a lot of support. Also here, it's yeah, basically the same as in the other coins. I only see that we are going there in case Bitcoin is closing below the 112k level. And because I will give it the higher likelihood that we will not do this, so that we will not have a significant daily candle close below the 112k level, I already have placed these orders in the coins that I have just showed you. Besides from Uniswap, there is just a pending order. But also there is one more thing that I need to add right here in regards to Bitcoin, and that is that we may also have a little bit of a Fuller's move again. So something like we did right here, where we go up and down, up and down, up and down, have daily candle closes above it and below it. But as long as we are not significantly breaking this 112k level with a daily candle close, currently I'm still bullish, and so far there are no changes in the general picture. And that is just a quick side note here for Bitcoin. The next one is Dogecoin, and Dogecoin currently is at a very critical level. You can see that here also we have dropped massively, and here we also have talked about the possibility that we see another false break. So you can see that with this move right here, so with this candle, we had the first breakout and the first price target, but it turned out that this was a false break. And right now it seems like that we are repeating this. So here we also have the break, we have the daily candle close slightly above this high right here, but technically it's still a breakout. And this has still activated our price target of, how much is this? 38.5 pennies. But right now it seems like we are having another false break. This can happen and the price target can still remain active. You know that we have two invalidations. The first one is price wise, the second one is time wise. So we want to see, from time perspective, we want to see the price back in the rectangle and back above this resistance. So when we are starting the second half of the rectangle, this would be currently at the October 10. So this is about 18 days. So let's say about 3 weeks. And then we also have a price invalidation. And that is why I said that currently we are at a very important level, because this red line that you can see right here is the price invalidation. That means if we have a daily candle close below this level, then this price target right here is being invalidated. You know, that means that we have a 90% likelihood that we are not going to this price within the time window. That doesn't mean that we will not go there at all. It just means that this price target here that is connected to a time window has a 90% likelihood of not being hit. And still, as in the other coins here, this is the point where I have stacked up on my position. You know, the first position I have opened right here when we hit the first support, then we bounced, got rejected, and right now we are going to the next support. Here I have added to my position, but at the same time I want to say that this is a very critical level, because this is the invalidation level of this price target right here. And if we get a significant daily candle close below this, then this price target will be invalidated. If we are doing something like, let's say we are closing today at the exact level, then we make a little bounce, then we go below it, also close below the level, and then going back above. This is something that is a tricky move, but this one is still valid. So that means if we are going slightly below it, the next day we are jumping straight back up. That means that the price target would still remain active, but at the moment it's very critical, and also that we are just coming to this level increases the chances that we are not hitting the price target right here within the mentioned time window. But still I have opened my order, you know, because my general target with my positions is that I am opening at good opportunities. I am buying at breakout levels and at support levels. This is definitely a support level where we are currently at. And then I want to hold it for the midterm. So I'm not looking for a quick bounce like we hit right here with the first position that I have opened. I still have this open, and I was not thinking about taking profit even when we got rejected. I am holding for the midterm, and I'm if there are good opportunities, then I'm adding to this position. And when then the final market stage is about to start, that is then what will bring the big profit in the long run. And that is then also the thing that I'm speculating on and what I'm placing my positions on. So just in case you have asked yourself, okay, why I have opened all these orders right now, it's very simple, because we are at the support levels and I see buying opportunities, and these are the levels that I've talked about in several updates, and today we have hit them, so that is why I've taken the opportunity. The last one on the list is TON. We never did anything on this one because nothing has happened in this one until today. So you can see right here, I already have marked this. We are basically in a sideways range since the end of February. You know, we dipped sometimes a little bit below, a little bit above, but we never really managed to stay above this level. And we always, when we closed above it, then rejection, then we got back in. So this is basically a very valid sideways range that we have right here. And what I was waiting for is that we are touching the bottom, and that is also where I have opened my position. So here also at the bottom of this range, I have opened my position. And here I have to add that in TON, not much has happened, and therefore also the price targets at the moment are not this big, because this coin hasn't performed this year. You know that in April we had the bottom. This is basically here. This was the bottom, and then you can see we not really did anything big in this coin. Basically at this point, when we hit the bottom in Bitcoin and also in other several big coins like Solana, for example, that has done a 150% increase. Right now it's a little bit less, but here we have basically just bounced around in this sideways range and we not even left it. So that means here the performance so far is very poor. Therefore also the potential increases that we can see from the current moment are also smaller, not small, just smaller. So let me show you what I can see that we could expect this. So let's say that we are doing a move right here, so that we are bouncing around right here. At some point we are making the break of the recent high, and with this break then we are also activating our next price target. Then we have, what is this, a price target of, let's say, close to $5. And from the current point where we are, in general, this would be a very good move, because this is at the bottom of a range and we are aiming for the high of a range of a breakout. So that means we are already aiming for the price target to being hit, which is not yet activated. That is why all of this is currently speculation. I just want to show you how big the potential profit right here is. And let's say we are hitting it. Let's say we are hitting it where it is right now. This would be about 77%. Let's say 80% to calculate a little bit better. You know that currently I'm always using 5x leverage. So this would be a 400% increase with a leveraged position. Very important to say, do your own research. I not encourage you to open a position or follow any of my trades. This is just what I am doing and what I'm currently looking for. So this is just a nice trading setup for me. That is why I've opened the position. But there are definitely coins where I personally think that the opportunity is much better, even if right here we are at the low. But it is, as always, guys, you know that these coins that are poorly performing within the bull run, which TON definitely has, you can, as I said, since April we are basically just bouncing around, and today we hit a lower low than back in April when we hit the major bottom. So this is a poor performance. Therefore also the chances that we are doing an increase or a big increase are smaller. But if the general market is increasing, then you know all boats are lifted, and also the ones that are not doing that great. And that is why I said that I think there are better performing projects out there, or projects that have a higher likelihood of performing better. Just in turn, I see it as a good trading opportunity. I have capital left on my trading account, and that is why I took this opportunity. So yeah, that's basically it for this video and for all the coins that I have mentioned. In case you have any questions about any of these coins, feel free to post them down in the comments. As I said, in case there should be any updates on any of these coins, or also on any of the other coins that I have covered on the channel, there will be an update, so make sure to subscribe to this channel. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.